Another huge weekend in the title race has just finished, but there is no rest for the wicked because the Premier League returns tomorrow and there is some huge news coming out. And I didn't actually see this when it went out, but after the Manchester City versus Leeds game Saturday just gone, Pep Guardiola says he does not know when Erling Haaland will be returning. Plus, Declan Rice is a doubt for their game against Brighton, Arsenal's game. And O'Reilly picked up a knock as well. Huge games coming in the Premier League title race and the Champions League. Arsenal will be playing Bayer Leverkusen home and away in the Champions League. And yet again, for the fourth season in a row, Manchester City are playing Real Madrid. Plus, FA Cup is only next weekend. Actually, this weekend, where Arsenal will be playing Mansfield. And Saturday night is the big one. Newcastle United are hosting Manchester City. If you're new to the channel and you haven't already, please go down, drop a like on the video. More importantly though, guys, as I said yesterday, 92% of you, yes, you, who watch the content every single day have not subscribed. The 92.4% of everyone who watched the channel throughout February was not subscribed. So please go down, hit that subscribe button. The road to 100,000 is on and we're only less than 700 away from hitting 90,000. Also, follow all the socials if you haven't already. The Instagram is flying at the moment. You guys seem to be enjoying the content. But this come out from Sam Billits at Sky Sports. Erling Haaland injury. Pep Guardiola is unsure when Man City striker will return and complains about the fixture schedule. Well, it's the same fixture schedule for Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool. You know, at the end of the day, if you're competing in all four competitions, you should have a big enough squad. I do believe, though, at some point in the near future, the Premier League squads will either expand to maybe 28 players, 29 players rather than the 25, or a lot of these managers are going to massively prioritize Premier League and Champions League, you know, and get dumped out of the League Cup early. I think that's what a lot of managers will do. Erling Haaland missed Man City's game against Leeds United, which was their win due to injury. Pep Guardiola said he's unsure when the Norwegian will return. With City facing 4 matches over the next fortnight, Guardiola also does not approve of City's FA Cup being an 8 p.m. kickoff before their Real Madrid tie. And this is what I was trying to say the other day when I was previewing the Premier League upcoming weekend. Everything right now is going Arsenal's way, right? Even things like Man City have got Real Madrid home and away in the Champions League, right? So that game is absolutely massive because when Arsenal played Bayer Leverkusen, no disrespect to Bayer Leverkusen, they won the Bundesliga recently, but they aren't to the level of Real Madrid, are they? They're not a Galactico. They're not a 15-time Champions League winner. And Real Madrid massively, massively rely on winning the Champions League. There isn't as much money in La Liga as there is the Premier League. They rely on doing well in this competition. That is literally the only thing that really matters for a lot of Real Madrid fans. When you look at the fixtures that's coming up for Man City, so they play Saturday evening, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday, Sunday. Their running between now and the cup final is absolutely huge. And bearing in mind, they could be without Erling Haaland. Now, FootMob have said he will be back around mid-March, which is 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, something like that. Which means, if FootMob is true in what they're saying, that he may miss the Nottingham Forest, Newcastle, and Real Madrid game. Now, I don't know how reliable Sam Blitz is from Sky Sports. Normally, though, Sky Sports pretty much are bang on. They've got Fabrizio Romano on there a lot of the times. They've got David Ornstein. Now, Pep Guardiola admits he is not sure when Erling Haaland will return from injury after the Manchester City striker missed his team's win over Leeds on Saturday. Haaland was a surprise absentee from the City team to play at Ellen Road, with Anton Semenyo replacing him as a central striker in the starting lineup and scoring the winning goal. Now, everyone knows I'm a huge, huge fan of Semenyo. I think as it stands right now, he's probably the best winger in the Premier League. However, on another day, Leeds United, if Dominic Calvert-Lewin had his shooting boots on, that game isn't, let's be real, on another day, Leeds United get something out of that game. When you look at the match stats, possession, shots on target, XG, whatever metric you want to measure the game by, there isn't a huge amount between them. Both teams had 14 shots. Yes, City may have had higher passing accuracy and a higher possession, but Leeds United also created 3 big chances. Now, as you can see, Man City have got a very, very difficult run of fixtures coming up, right? Their squad to play Nottingham Forest, they are currently without, this is coming out from FootMob, they're going to be without Erling Haaland, who, as you can see, has got a knee injury and is back mid-March. Nico O'Reilly, again, is having an unbelievable season, and he is also a doubt. You know, he scored twice in their win over Newcastle United. He's one of the best talents in the Premier League right now. He's expected to return for the Nottingham Forest game. Some people are saying he's got 4 goals and 3 assists, and bearing in mind the guy's played at left back most of the year. However, equally, Declan Rice is apparently a huge doubt for the Brighton game in their trip. Now, according to Mikel Arteta, this will be reviewed, and he does feel some sort of physical, discomfort. I'll be honest. I think that looking at the situation at Arsenal, I don't necessarily think Declan Rice. I think Haaland's a bigger miss for City. Norgard can come in. Equally, you could say Semenyo come in, right? They're both big misses. But Declan Rice, I just think he's the sort of player to kind of play through an injury. Not that I think that's a good thing, but he's kind of got this mentality where he wants to play every single game. Where I think because Erling Haaland is predominantly City's only real out-and-out number 9, they'll look after him. I'm not saying Arsenal won't look after him, but they'll prioritise looking after him. Now, when you look at Arsenal's fixtures between now and the cup final, it is an easier run of games. Let's not beat around the bush. It is an easier run of games. Brighton, then they've got a massive rotation against Mansfield, which you expect them to rotate. Leverkusen on Wednesday, and then they play Everton on the Saturday, Leverkusen on the Tuesday, and then they play, of course, the cup final. Now, Man City have got to go to Real Madrid. They've got to travel to West Ham in there as well. It's going to be very, very interesting, guys. I do actually think that this potentially does tip the balance in Arsenal's favour. Now, I'm not saying that Man City won't go and win the League Cup, but the fact that they have got Real Madrid home and away, and they've got West Ham in there, who are fighting for their lives, who on another day would have scored more goals against Liverpool. I don't know what you guys make of it. I just personally, I don't necessarily see this happening right now. I see that Man City will, in my opinion, drop points in this run-in. The Real Madrid game, who knows? Who knows, right? Huge, huge game for both teams with Real Madrid as it stands. I think City are the favourites, and I think City will go through. I just have a feeling about that West Ham game. Under the lights, at the London Stadium. Again, it's another late kickoff. Whereas you look at, if you go to what Arsenal have got to do, it's a very, very... Essentially, they have more time to prepare for their final because they play at 12:15. City play at 8. City play at 8 when Arsenal play at 5:30. And they both play on the Tuesday. I don't know. I have a feeling that Arsenal will be going to this in a much better situation, this cup final. What I would say is, though, if the Declan Rice's injury is serious, that is a big blow for Arsenal. There isn't a huge amount really said about both players. Dalman, Odegaard, I think is going to be back for the Brighton game. Ben White is going to be back. Kai Havertz returned as well. And as I said, everything seems to be going Arsenal's way. And when you look at the Premier League title race right now, it is very, very close. It comes down to that fixture in April. If Arsenal go to the Etihad and win, the league's done. Equally, if City bounce back and beat Arsenal, all they would have to do is win their remaining games. If Man City win their remaining 11 games in the league, they win the league title. And they are on the better form. They've won 4 of the last 5. That West Ham fixture for me, it just stands out. Like when you look at West Ham's recent form, like the game against Liverpool, the stats, West Ham had more XG. Like who knows, man? I just have a feeling like when you look at their fixtures, they drew to Bournemouth, right? Beat QPR, beat us, beat Sunderland, beat Burnley, drew Man United, narrowly lost to Chelsea, higher XG against Liverpool. If West Ham win that Brentford game on the Monday, they have 5 days to prepare, right? Bearing in mind, City will be playing away against Real Madrid on the Wednesday. I have a feeling. I have a feeling. Let me know your thoughts down below. What are your thoughts on the Haaland injury? What are your thoughts on the Declan Rice injury? I'll see you soon. I am out.